So, good evening, everybody. I am doing this video as it was requested by my friend Shupriyo for the group. Uh, to make a disclaimer, I am a surgeon, I'm a pediatric cardiac surgeon. So, whatever I'm going to talk about, and my topic is how to live a healthy heart, is probably not a very typical topic for me because I deal with the heart of children and also I'm a surgeon. So I will try to make this topic as lucid and as easily comprehensible as possible. So in fact, I have made a blueprint how to talk about it, how to talk about the healthy heart. So according to me, there are 3 points. So there are 3 points which are highlighted by everybody. The number one point is to be stress free. But I think this is the philosophical thing is a very individual thing. Whatever life I lead may supposed to be stress free or vice versa, and it may not be so for the another person. So I'm not going to talk about this particular the point, that is leading a stress free and a peaceful life. The number 2 point is the diet, and I think the diet plays the most important role in our life to be hale and hearty. So when it comes to diet, there are two things which I have divided is what to eat and when to eat. So in what to eat, let me talk about the things which should never be eaten. Or, I mean, even if you eat, it should be once in a blue moon. So the first thing is that any kind of the packed food, so food which you purchase from the market and which are inside a packet. So obviously when it is inside a packet, it has to be mixed with a preservative. You should avoid them. The number two is the outside food, the food which are cooked outside by the side of the roads. That is what we call the junk food. You should not eat them. You just should not eat them. Number three are the soft drinks, Coke, Spice, what is that called? Sprite. Completely no. And lastly, the most important probably is the sweets. The sweets are said to be the white toxins. This is like a venom. So we should avoid the sweets or we should avoid the sugars as much as possible. So these are the four things, guys, which you should not take. I mean, you just take it out of your brain that these four things exist in nature. Once in a blue moon, once in a month, once in a quarter, probably it is okay. Or if you are taking one gulab jamun, take a half of it. If you are taking one kaju katli, take half of it. So in that way, you should think then these four things do not exist in life for you, which is doable actually. And the rest of the things you can take. Now, out of the rest of the things, there are certain things which you must take. So I am not going to tell you what you should take. I am just telling you what you should never take and what are the things which you should take. The first thing is that you should take healthy fats. So having healthy fats, I will say an egg. Now, this is a myth that people should not take egg. Unless it is contraindicated, unless you are allergic to egg, you should take egg. Yes, I accept there is a good amount of fat in the egg yolk. The egg white is an excellent source of protein. It is said to be a reference protein because the protein value is 1. But so far as the yolk is concerned, this is also good because the benefits of the egg, the outweighs its the bad effects. So you should take egg at least once in a day. The fish and chicken we all know you should take. The fruits and vegetables we all know. You can take plenty of fibers like millet, quinoa, dahlia, oats. Now, what are the benefits of this? Now, let's not go into the nitty-gritty of it. What these things do is it contains a lot of fibers. So when you take a lot of fibers, it absorbs a lot of water. So it makes you feel very heavy. You achieve the satiety very early. and you do not feel for the appetite. So that is the reason you should take the complex carbohydrates. Ghee and nuts, which is said to be the form of healthy fats, because the fats are important for the absorption of very important vitamins, which are D, E, K, A. And I always suggest to have as much as possible black coffee, because 1 cup of black coffee without sugar, mind you, that just gives you 1 calorie. So these are the few things, the must eat things: the egg, fish, chicken, fruits, vegetables, lot of fibers in the form of millet, quinoa, whatever you want, the healthy fats like ghee, nuts, the coffee, uh, you should take. So the one part of the diet is over, and that is what to take. Now, when to take, we all know that your breakfast should be the heaviest of the meal, the followed by lunch. If possible, avoid evening snacks, and whatever you take in the evening snacks should be your last meal. So your meal, uh, the lunch should be over by 7 p.m. This is what I have been practicing very, very religiously, and without any doubt and without any break, that should not take anything after 7 p.m. If you are very hungry, if you want to take something, there are many things which you can take. For example, you can take some nuts, you can take some the fruits, you can take a banana, but do not take anything which needs a proper digestion. So this is an absolute no-no, to have something very voluminous after 7 in the evening. And that brings me to my last point, is the exercise. We all know the importance of an exercise, but I'm not going to lecture on that. But I think I just will point out one important thing, and that is you should take the strength training very, very seriously. See, the aerobic exercise like running and walking are all okay, but I don't think they help you at the long run. Because if you do not do the strength training, if you do not do the resistance training, you do not build up the muscles. And having said building up muscles, I do not mean the building up the dole shole here and there. It makes your muscles, the ligaments, and the bones very strong, so that when you age, your muscles do not get weak. You can stand on your own, because if you only keep walking and doing the aerobic exercise, your knees, your ankles are going to take a hit. So if you ask me to summarize that how to lead a healthy life, how to maintain a healthy heart, and how to even to lose your weight, I will stress upon 2, 3, or 4 points. The first, no smoking. Very, very important. If you want, you can booze here and there, but to me, the smoking is an absolute no-no. Number 2, to remain in a caloric deficit state. It's very simple, that your expenditure of energy should be more than the intake of your energy. It is very, very, very simple maths. The number 3, to take plenty of proteins. The protein intake is very, very important. Whatever form you want, the protein intake is a must. And lastly, the resistance training. So these 4 or 5 things, if you follow religiously and if you make a part of your life, your heart is going to be healthy. Yes, there are some other factors which can affect your heart, which we call as an unmodifiable factors. For example, the genetic factors. You may have a tendency of the high blood cholesterol. You cannot compensate for that. You cannot modify them. For that, you need other things. That is not in your hand. But whatever is in your hand are these 4 or 5 things. Not to take the food which I mentioned, never to be taken. Again, I'm repeating. The number 2, the resistance training, to be in a caloric deficit state. And lastly, to take as much protein as possible. If you are very hungry 10 p.m. at night, look for something which will give you only protein. You may have a fish, you may have a piece of chicken, but be mindful of what you are eating. That every time when you eat, be mindful of what you are eating. Whether you are eating something which is absolutely necessary, whether you are indulging in your luxury. If you are, you have to make up for that. So if you are always conscious about what you are eating, you will not eat bad things. So this is it. Thank you.